Good evening, welcome to the Saturday match. Tonight, one of the most dramatic games of the season. Brighton against Tottenham.
Galvin. Was at best a mistime tackle. Houghton for Brazil, off the bar. Should have been a goal.
Two men sent off in that game, and Brighton have also lost a key player for the FA Cup semi-final. Our other games tonight are also from the First Division: West Ham against Watford and Ipswich against Aston Villa. And George Best goes missing. He didn't turn up for Bournemouth's game today, and his whereabouts are a complete mystery. More of that later. But first, though, to Brighton, bottom of the First Division and in desperate need of points as they face Spurs. Your commentator at the Goldstone Ground, Gerald Sinstadt.
A lot rests on this young man's shoulders today. He's Gerry, a 19-year-old Irishman who came here from Coventry last summer and scored on his debut against Liverpool 10 days ago. Howlett plays in a side lacking Tony Grealish. He's still suffering from the injury that kept him out of the Republic of Ireland side in midweek. Graham Pearce takes the number 4 shirt, and he'll play up full back with Steve Gatting in midfield. Since we were last at the Goldstone, Brighton have acquired Terry Connor from Leeds United in a straight swap for Andy Ritchie. Connor has yet to score for his new club, and that's also true of Alan Brazil, Tottenham's £500,000 signing from Ipswich a couple of weeks ago. The Spurs side has been put together today with some difficulty. No Steve Perryman, no Paul Miller, they're both suspended. No Ozzy Ardiles, he's recovering from injury. And no Glenn Hoddle, who's had a sad season in which injury and lack of form have gone together. And it's Brighton kicking off, attacking the goal to our right. No change in colours for either side. Brighton all in blue and Spurs in their white tops. Free kick signalled in favour of Brighton in the first 15 seconds of the game. It's the 4th meeting between the two clubs this season. Spurs won 2-0 in the league at White Hart Lane. It was in December, and they won 1-0 here in the Milk Cup in October after a 1-1 draw at Tottenham. But Brighton now have a corner in the first minute. Jimmy Case to take it. Deep and wide towards Foster, but too deep. Now here's Howlett. Roberts, the number 4 for Spurs, skippering the side today. The 5 who's down there injured is John Lacey. Anxious days for the Brighton fans. They haven't seen their team win here at the Goldstone in the league since they beat Norwich on December the 11th. Smith, stopped by O'Reilly. Brighton ball. Yellow flag of Mr. Topless from Poole. Smith. Lacey at his heels. That's a good cross. And taken out of Clemence's hands. And the shot from Howlett was blocked. And then Clemence makes a marvellous save from Gatting. Howlett, who got the first one in, saw it deflected, and then Gatting on with a tremendous effort. Started here with Gordon Smith, who beats Lacey well and crosses extremely well. Touched away by Clements, shot from Howlett that struck a defender, and what a brilliant left foot volley, and what a superb save. Gatting and Clements the stars. Ramsey against Galvin. Abbott. Well, that's a bad one from Archibald Case. Lacey got in. Archibald. Balco to Houghton. Brazil is in the middle. Gibson on the far side. Houghton to Mabbott. Now Gibson. Pearce backtracking and waiting for his time for the tackle, but he got it to Brazil. And Galvin snatched at the shot with his left foot. The more natural angle there was for the right foot, but Galvin is a left-sided player. Touchback here from Brazil. Galvin with the left foot pulled it wide. Lacey. Brazil. It's a little bit tight, but there's a foul. And another free kick, this time to Tottenham. Houghton. Houghton just snatched away from him. Brazil. Roberts. Mabbott. Foul on Mabbott, and he didn't like it. Case was the offender. Referee didn't like it either, I suspect. He's calling Jimmy Case over to him and reaching for his notebook. Mr. Callow, a strict disciplinarian among referees. A situation where Tottenham will doubly regret the absence of Glenn Hoddle. From this kind of distance and this kind of square-on angle, he can be absolutely deadly. Roberts. Well, they didn't miss Glenn Hoddle. Graham Moseley gets to his feet, disconsolately making signs that the ball had swerved, but it was along the ground all the way. I suppose it may have taken a deflection, but it's the simplest of free kick routines. A back heel, a well-struck low shot from Roberts, all the way through and under Moseley, close to his body. Midway through the first half, the opening goal to Tottenham, and it will be marked down, I'm afraid, as a mistake by Moseley. Houghton. Mabbott. Falco's not on for Brazil. Outside of the foot by Foster was good enough. And now Stevens coolly makes himself some room. Howlett did well to go past Houghton. Case going to the right touchline. Through into the gap comes Gatting. Out there, Smith. Sets it up for Gatting. Best Brighton move of the game so far. Ends with a shot wide by Gatting. Well, that's the kind of football that makes openings, and it was very well constructed too. Smith coming in from this side, beats his man smartly, then the flick off for Gatting, and it was actually deflected wide. Case, Smith, Pearce tried to get in, Gatting's header, Smith, three in the middle including Foster, this is Gatting, Roberts very cool, and now Galvin. Usual position for him, but effective and a good pass too. Now Falco with Galvin going through the middle and Brazil free on this side. Taking on Ramsey and getting in the shot, blocked by Case, then Galvin, and a goal kick given. Referee checks his watch. Brazil here looking for the opportunity to shoot, blocked by Ramsey. Galvin comes in on it, but under it. So that's half-time, and Tottenham lead by a goal from a free kick by Graham Roberts. The South Coast lad who enjoys playing against South Coast teams. His goal today, the first since he scored a hat-trick against Southampton more than a year ago. But it's enough to give Tottenham a lead by 1-0 against Brighton as they go in at half-time here. It's a bit of a chilly day by the seaside, but for Londoners, a trip to Brighton is very much part of the bank holiday tradition, and a number of them have come down to support Tottenham, so we've got a decent gathering here at the Goldstone. The second half then, 1-0 to Tottenham. Side with the worst scoring record away from home in the First Division. The goal they scored here was only their 10th away from White Hart Lane this season. But they started the day in the top half of the table, 24 points behind Liverpool and 16 in front of Brighton. Come the Tottenham defenders, and Brighton are caught offside 7 or 8 yards inside their own half, and the crowd make their feelings plain, and I have some sympathy with them. At a time when football is looking for spectators, while that tactic may be very effective, it's no sort of entertainment. Galvin, it's more like it. Nice little pull back. Falco's shot was half blocked and only half cleared, and now Gibson took ages over that. Little Gerry Gibson, who's usually such a bundle of dynamite in the area, somehow couldn't seem to get that one to settle for him. He was found with acres of room here, nobody marking him at all, and he flicked it up a bit too far, then tried to control it with his thigh, and the chance went. Stevens, Connor. Robinson and Connor confusing each other. To say nothing of Roberts, who was the meat in the sandwich. Newton fouled by Case. Chris Newton enjoys playing against Brighton. Galvin. Falco's header and a good save by Mosley. He'll feel better after that one. Header was destined to creep just inside the post. Galvin's cross. And Falco, good header, good save. Mistake by Archibald. Newton covering for him. Now Archibald again. Out comes Mosley. And Brighton break. Case. Connor moving wide and then going back into the middle. Howlett was arriving. Archibald cut out the pass. Archibald goes away. Brazil started to go left. Now goes to the right. Brazil. Oh, that's much too hard. But Galvin will collect it. And it was blocked by Ramsey. Caught by Mosley. And it didn't go out of play. Connor now. Roberts. Falco. Case brought down by Galvin. Ramsey dives in on Falco. Referee reaches for the notebook. Galvin now. third booking of the game. Falco, Case, and now Galvin. Ramsey with the free kick. Smith. Smith gets it away. And Stevens crosses. Galvin. Was at best a mistimed tackle. Houghton for Brazil, off the bar. Should have been a goal. Well set up by Houghton. Brazil's finishing 6 inches too high. So he still waits for his first goal for his new club. And meanwhile, Brighton have the ball. Through Smith. A long time about this. Howlett. And now Case is onside against Roberts and the goalkeeper. Got support from Connor, and Connor has put it wide. I'm afraid Terry Connor will not look back on that with very much pleasure. There's a clear scoring chance. Put into the open, pulled it wide. Meanwhile, Tottenham will be reflecting not only on an escape at their own end, but also at the one that got away when Houghton set one up at the other end. It's a better ball, Mabbott for Falco. And that is a foul by Ramsey that could well get his name in the book. I don't think that Mr. Callow, disciplinarian though he is, would estimate that to have been a clear scoring chance. It's a booking for Ramsey, and it's a booking that nobody will regret more than Chris Ramsey, because I fancy it now gives him enough disciplinary points to force suspension on him and probably cost him his place in the semi-final against Sheffield Wednesday. Archibald with the free kick, Roberts with the header, a push to make the space to head it, and so a free kick to Brighton. Going to have a double substitution. Howlett being replaced by Ryan for Brighton, and Mike Hazard coming on. Gibson is the player replaced. Interception by Mabbott. Call back for a free kick, and the referee is talking to Ramsey. And Ramsey heads for the dressing room. Second booking of the game. And that doesn't come as a major surprise. Mr. Callow had sent off 10 players this season before this game began. And Ramsey, incautious, twice in the space of a quarter of an hour, takes the walk to the dressing room. And Brighton are now down to 10 men. Connor. O'Reilly. It's a foul on Case. That's another sending off. Well, working our way through them steadily. Keith Birkinshaw was off the bench to indicate to Tony Galvin that his second booking and a sending off for him as well. And Mr. Callow really is about the only person who's playing up to his reputation here today. And here's Gatting through, and that's a goal! Out of nothing. Steve Gatting gets the equaliser, his 4th goal of the season, put away with a coolness and an assurance that had virtually nothing to do with anything that had gone on in the preceding half hour. Goes past Roberts, who's been one of the Spurs heroes, sticks it past Clements, that's 1-1. Well, that's what we needed, something to revive the game. Connor. 5 minutes to go, Smith with the ball for Brighton. 10 men each. Case. Went Ryan, up to went O'Reilly, and that's a corner kick. Only the first corner that Brighton have had in the second half, and only the third they've had in the whole game. Clements, I think, worried about Jimmy Case, who's not marked just outside the area. And the header, and it's now 2-1, and Ryan has scored. The substitute, on for not much more than 5 minutes, gets a second goal, and 2 goals in a minute transform the game. First header was blocked on the line by Houghton, but then at close range, Ryan puts it in. Well, that's really remarkable. Gerry Ryan's 7th goal of the season. Brighton not in the game for 85 minutes, now lead 2-1. Jimmy Melia, a much relieved man. Pierce forward. Robinson. Now Connor. Can he make something of this? I wonder again whether he shouldn't have done better there. Wasn't an easy one. Not as easy as the one that he missed earlier. He played 47.5 minutes in this half. Still going strong, apparently. Case. Connor. Hazard. Smith. And Brighton have done it. The final whistle. Brighton with their first home win in the league since December the 11th. Goals late in the game from Gerry Ryan and from Steve Gatting. 2 goals in a couple of minutes after we'd had 35 minutes of really appalling football. Steve Gatting kept his head, put one away. Ryan, the substitute, got the second almost at once. And so, from a game they looked certain to lose, Brighton collect 3 unexpected and very welcome points. The blot on it from their point of view, no Chris Ramsey for the semi-final. Tottenham having lost Tony Galvin sent off as well. So at the end of a very curious afternoon at the Goldstone, it's Brighton 2, Tottenham 1.
So quite a finish and a very welcome win that for Brighton, only their 3rd in the league since Jimmy Melia took over from Mike Bailey 18 matches ago. The bad news tonight, of course, is that Chris Ramsey will miss the FA Cup semi-final against Sheffield Wednesday in 2 weeks' time. His first booking today was enough to earn automatic suspension. Well, Brighton, in fact, still bottom of the First Division. Just above them are Luton, beaten 1-0 at home today by Norwich. Birmingham and Swansea drew 1-1, while Manchester City won for the first time in 11 games. They beat West Bromwich Albion 2-0 at the Hawthorns. So, quite a battle building there, and quite a battle also in our next two games. West Ham against Watford and Ipswich against Aston Villa. Right after... Back to you. Before our next action, let me just bring you up to date now with the position regarding George Best. Well, now, George missed Bournemouth's 2-0 win over Orient today and has also failed to turn up here tonight for the Saturday match. In fact, he hasn't been seen or heard from since Thursday morning by the people closest to him, his business manager, his girlfriend Mary Stavin, or wife Angie, who now lives in Southend. Well, Best has been upset by the death in Manchester of his old landlady, Mrs. Mary Fullaway, but there is considerable concern tonight over his whereabouts. He's had his problems, of course, with alcohol, and there are obvious fears about his health. And let me just say, I hope this particular George Best saga ends happily and that he's back with us and Bournemouth by next Saturday. But let's move on now to our next football action, the goals from Ipswich and Aston Villa, and it's Ipswich now in the dark shirts.
Touch back by Walk and away by Russell Osman. To Mariner, Putney chasing this again with Waters. Did well to get there. To Callaghan. Forward goes Burley. Cowan's covers. Good deep cross. And away by McNaught. Up goes Davray again. Oh, he was nearly there. McCall. Oh, gracious me, what a goal. That was a clearance off McCall. He'll be credited. But Spink without a chance at all there. And 2 minutes gone, Ipswich take the lead. Well, when Spink came for this in the first place, Davray made it very difficult for him. Then a chapter of accidents here, but as he goes to shoot, it's McNaught who clears it against McCall and into the net. Here's McNaught. Easy one for Gernon. Oh, and Walters is in there to pinch it from him. Shaw is coming towards the near post. And he's got it. And a terrible error at the back there by Ipswich. Shaw really rifling in on that one after Walters had snapped up an error by Irving Gernon. Shouldn't have been any problems here for Gernon to get this one. But first of all, he does well to get to the line. And look at Shaw now getting into the hole. And just a little flick. And it's 1-1. Shaw doing well to find the Mortimer here. Peter Witt getting up. Good shot. Oh, it's a great goal. Oh, the classic far post header there. And Ipswich must surely have seen that coming because Villa have suddenly sparked. That's a good ball forward from Shaw to Mortimer. The deep far post cross. Gernon can't get it. And now the big fella just steers it into the far corner.
Some really tasty goals in that one. 2-1 it finished, and that's a win which must improve Aston Villa's chances of getting back into Europe next season. Well, another side with Europe firmly in their sights, of course, are Watford, lying second in the table before today's game at West Ham. Well, our pictures now come from London Weekend Television. The commentator, Brian Moore.
Now Pike. That's a good ball played to Devonshire. And now for Goddard, onside. The cross cleared by Ian Bolton. Lampard turning it in again, and Swindlehurst getting in there. Oh, and against the crossbar. Really a marvellous first appearance in front of the West Ham crowd. And Dave Swindlehurst going in with the header. And coming back off the Watford crossbar. John Bones. Pumping it in there, and a goal! Callaghan getting in at the far post, and West Ham were badly caught out there. It's a pretty old Watford trick, to be honest. Balls driven in low across the 6-yard area, hoping that somebody gets in at the far post, as Nigel Callaghan did there, and Watford go into the lead. Pike's header. Devonshire just keeping it in. Pike playing it forward again, Martin having stayed up there, but Rice for Watford. Pike once again, now Dickens, turning quickly towards Van der Elst. 1-1, a mistake by Watford, and they are punished by the Belgian Van der Elst. Turned in by Dickens, And the clearance fell straight to Francois van der Elst, and that makes it 1-1. Certainly a good atmosphere here at Upton Park. And Jobson just taking it off the England international. And Barnes, support up there from Blissett and from Callaghan on the far side. He knows where to find him again, and this time Lampard knows that he was there and is quite happy to duck in and concede the corner. See Sims and Bolton arriving, with Swindlehurst going back. And Barnes again with this corner. Flicked in there. Well, Sims flicked it on, and Rostron almost got it in. And a certain number of inquests going on in that West Ham defence, uppermost between Stewart and Pike, and how it was that Rostron was allowed to float in on the far post. It was certainly a good flick on. Swindlehurst up well. Oh, this might fall. A couple of Watford players getting into this way now. Alan Dickens. Oh! Well, Van der Elst hit that superbly on the volley. Again, Dickens. What a youngster he is. And what a volley that was, but it was just a fraction too high. Swindlehurst. Already taken. Devonshire now for Lampard. That's a nice little chip towards Swindlehurst. Played it again, and Goddard, but it was saved right on the line. Goddard went away thinking he'd put it into the back of the net. Swindlehurst a good header back here, and setting right on the line there. That's a West Ham throw. Devonshire quick to spot that Goddard might be available, and took it on well himself. Again Lampard's in there, and again he's onside, and it won't go in. And Van der Elst has put it wide. Well, twice Devonshire and Lampard have combined superbly down that left in the space of a minute. Twice it looked odds on a West Ham goal, and twice they've been denied, this time by the post. Flick off the keeper onto the post, and then Van der Elst blasting it wide. Devonshire once more. Once more, he looks as though he might have the better of Rice, or has he? Well, another free kick, a foul by Pat Rice this time. And a chance for West Ham to turn the screw a little bit on Watford. Still half an hour to go, and still 1-1. Devonshire with the kick. Played into Dickens. Oh, he did well. And a nice little chip for Swindlehurst. So Dave Swindlehurst, his first home appearance for his new club West Ham, and he puts them into the lead. But look again at the contribution there by Alan Dickens. What a lovely little turn, a little flick, and a really delightful left foot cross. Swindlehurst's header and West Ham's goal.
2-1 it finished, and that defeat means Watford lose ground on Liverpool, now 16 points clear at the top after beating Sunderland 1-0 today. Manchester United now second, they beat Coventry 3-0. Aston Villa are fourth, Stoke fifth, and Southampton are sixth. They forced a goalless draw at Arsenal. Steve Williams was booked in that game, and it's feared he could now face an automatic suspension. Well, the third division leaders Portsmouth might have solved their problem over who takes penalties. New signing Kevin Dillon scored twice from the spot in today's 2-2 draw with Reading to end a miserable run for Pompey. They've tried, would you believe, 6 penalty takers already this season and missed 9 times. Gillingham also drew 2-2 at home to Brentford, while Southend lost 3-1 at Millwall. Problems though for Aldershot, now 6th from bottom in the 4th division and sliding dangerously towards the re-election zone. A crowd of just 1,600 saw them lose 1-0 to Colchester, their 4th home defeat in a row, and they've now gone 10 games without a win. The other end of the football scale, England could bid to stage the 1986 World Cup. FA Secretary Ted Croker said tonight he didn't think Mexico was the answer because of the heat, economic and altitude problems. England, he said, had the right facilities and he expected strong support for his views. All right, just time now for the pools news. There were 11 score draws. The numbers, there they are: 2, 16, 19, 23, 24, 27, 33, 38, 39, 43 and 53. Just 4 no-score draws, numbers 1, 15, 21 and 35. Dividends, not surprisingly, will be moderate. No claims are required. Well, that's it for tonight. Hope you've enjoyed the programme. A slightly shorter programme than usual because there's more sport still to come. Highlights from the Birmingham International show jumping right after the break. But we're going to leave you tonight with 2 goals that gave Brighton 3 surprise points and hope that they might still yet even avoid relegation. See you soon. Good night to you.
And Mr. Callow really is about the only person who's playing up to his reputation here today. And here's getting through, and that's a goal! Clements, I think, worried about Jimmy Case, who's not marked just outside the area. And the header, and it's now 2-1, and Ryan has scored!